The 12 labors of Heracles were imposed upon him as a form of punishment, or more accurately, as a means of atonement for a crime he committed under the influence of madness. Hera orchestrated a plan to drive Heracles into a fit of madness, during which he unknowingly harmed his own wife, Megara, and their children. When he regained his sanity and realized the magnitude of his actions, he was consumed with guilt and sought a way to purify his soul. To address this, the oracle at Delphi declared that Heracles must serve King Eurystheus, a distant relative, and perform 10 labors as a form of penance for the mistakes committed in his fit of madness. However, Eurystheus, under the influence of Hera, added 2 more labors to the original 10, making them 12 labors in total. The labors were intended not only as a means of atonement, but also as a way for Heracles to prove himself as a hero worthy of redemption, in the eyes of both gods and mortals. Here are the 12 labors of Heracles. Overcome the Nemean Lion. Heracles faced the Nemean Lion, a creature with an impenetrable hide. Using his strength and wit, he subdued the lion and later used its own claws to carefully remove its hide. Overcome the 9-headed Lernaean Hydra. The Hydra was a serpent-like creature with multiple heads, and when one was removed, 2 more grew in its place. Heracles, with the help of his nephew Iolaus, defeated the Hydra by sealing the neck stumps to prevent regrowth. Capture the golden hind of Artemis. Heracles was tasked with capturing the Lernaean hind, a sacred deer of Artemis with golden antlers. Known for its remarkable speed, Heracles embarked on a quest that showcased both his physical prowess and his cleverness. He eventually caught the hind without causing it harm. Capture the Erymanthian Boar. Heracles was sent to capture a massive boar that roamed the region of Erymanthus. After chasing it into deep snow, he successfully contained the boar and brought it back to King Eurystheus. Clean the Augean Stables. King Augeas owned an enormous herd of cattle, and their stables had not been cleaned for years. Heracles redirected the rivers Alpheus and Peneus to cleanse the stables in a single day. Overcome the Stymphalian Birds. The Stymphalian birds were aggressive birds with bronze beaks and feathers. Using a rattle provided by Athena, Heracles frightened the birds into flight and neutralized them with arrows. Capture the Cretan Bull. Heracles was tasked with capturing a powerful bull from Crete. After subduing the bull, he returned it to King Eurystheus, who released it back into the wild. Obtain the Girdle of Hippolyta. Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, possessed a magical girdle. Heracles initially approached the Amazons with the intention of peacefully obtaining the prized girdle. However, misunderstandings arose, leading to a conflict between Heracles and the Amazon warriors. Obtain the cows of the Monster Geryon. Geryon, a monster with 3 bodies, owned a herd of red cattle. Heracles journeyed to the far west, overcame Geryon, and brought the cattle back to King Eurystheus. Steal the apples of the Hesperides. The 11th labor brought Heracles to the edge of the world, where the Hesperides, daughters of the Titan Atlas, guarded the sacred golden apples. These apples were a precious gift from Gaia and held significant importance in Greek mythology. Heracles approached Atlas with a clever plan. He offered to temporarily take on the immense burden of holding up the heavens so that Atlas could leave his eternal post and fetch the golden apples for him. Atlas agreed and carefully lifted the weight of the sky off his shoulders. Atlas then went to the Garden of the Hesperides and retrieved the golden apples. On his way back, he suggested that he could personally deliver the apples to King Eurystheus, leaving Heracles to continue holding the heavens. Here, Heracles used his wit. Instead of simply taking the apples from Atlas, he pretended to agree to Atlas's suggestion, but asked him to momentarily take back the heavens so he could adjust his cloak and make himself more comfortable. The moment Atlas lifted the heavens, Heracles quickly took the apples, handed the sky back to Atlas, and walked away with his prize. Capture and bring back Cerberus. Heracles' final labor involved journeying to the underworld to bring Cerberus, the 3-headed guardian of the entrance. With Hades' permission, Heracles safely brought Cerberus to King Eurystheus before returning him to the underworld. Through these extraordinary labors, Heracles not only sought redemption but also proved the true extent of his courage, strength, and cleverness. Each challenge shaped him into a hero remembered for millennia.